Hello, fam. How's it going? Welcome to another Artcast. Tonight, we're going to be discussing... I think this is a little bit close. There we go. Tonight's subject is Geodudette. This originally started out as just wanting to have my own personalized images that go along with my Pokemon Silver playthrough. This is something I always wanted to do. Like, I started that playthrough, like, in maybe 2017 or 2016. And I'm picking it up now that I've got better streaming equipment and everything. And now I want a few images to go along with it, so that you can really visualize my specific Pokemon. And I've got them. I've got them in my head how I want these specific ones to, because I don't want them to look like everyone else. In fact, I'm surprised that personalizing your Pokemon was never a thing you could do. What with the advent of the 3D models and everything, like give them your own little hats and, you know, bandanas and such. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't think it is, because the newest Pokemon game that I've seen, you know, where all the Pokemon are wandering around your camp and they're like fighting each other or having a good time talking to each other. I don't actually think that I've seen them. I know you got shinies and stuff like that, but that doesn't count, because that's just... Oh, hold on. Did I screw this up? Yeah, I kind of did. I want to move this over here so I can see all your wonderful comments. Hello, Johnny 2x4. Hello, S-Mac. So yeah, and I kind of wasted a whole day trying to do... I was thinking like, oh, guess what? I'm going to do an animated intro. And I'm not an animator. I love it, actually. But I don't have an actual good workflow to do it. And then I was in Clip Studio, and you only get like 24 frames. And you can't scrub, and it turned out okay. I put it on Twitter. You can find it. It's like I maybe just did like a day behind on the... Hello, Arcade the Hedgehog. How's it going? Let's see. There was a cosplay Pikachu in Gen 7 or 6. Yeah, I know Pokemon Go has a bunch of like different Pikachus, and they're all dressed up, and you can catch like an Eevee or like a Baneri with like a little flowery crown for Easter, but not sort of this level of customization. Hope you've been okay these days. And yeah, I've been doing pretty fine. Thank you for asking, Richie. But yeah, I mean, I started off and I got way over my head, especially since I only managed to animate one Pokemon in pencil, and it wasn't even like... It just looked like a regular Geodude, other than, you know, it was a girl, of course, because my Geodude is a girl, female. And it just looked... I was just like kind of over my head, and was like, okay, well, this was fun to try and animate, and try to like get that out of my system a little bit, or rather into my system, because I plan on doing more. I just need to like... I just kind of started. I didn't pin down any what you call it, strong poses and in-betweens. I just kind of animated from frame to frame. So yeah, I just need to kind of work on that. Let's see. I've been doing some animation until Sketchbook started crashing, so all my animation plans are scrapped. There is... Hold on a second. Will this be bad if I do this? No, it'll keep playing. Perfect. There's a program, and I've signed up, and I'm sort of in the beta for this sort of this testing. It's called Animation Paper. I'll have to show it to you guys. It's actually incredibly intuitive. It's by the same people that made PAP, P-A-P. I believe it's actually version 4, so it's PAP 4, and I believe that is free and online, so you can totally download that and use it. But this, it's an upgrade to PAP, and it is incredibly intuitive. It's got commands that are just for example, in Clip Studio, I was trying to figure out, okay, I want to just copy and paste this one part of the drawing. Like, if I could just keep this, like, the main body and just move the arms a little bit, that would be great. So what I tried to do is I tried to copy and paste the drawing, and it wouldn't let me. It would copy and paste the entire frame. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that. I just want this one little arm to move a little bit. And I was like, I looked up online. I was like, okay, well, how do you do that? How do you copy and paste? Because there must be some sort of thing. And it was this long, complicated, where you have to take the frames out of the animation folder, not compress them, just combine them, and then copy and paste, and then reinsert it in. And it was this huge, long walkthrough, and didn't look. Clip Studio is nice. But I think it literally tries to be too much of everything, in that it's not good at any one thing, actually. It's got amazing perspective tools, but you need to know how to work around, because they're not intuitive. They try to give you all these different models to work in their 3D program. It's very complicated to build brushes. It's not, you can't do it in Seiya at all, and it's even more complicated. I mean, it's simpler to do in Photoshop. Adobe's got that stuff down, and Clip Studio is a wonderful alternative to that. But there's just so many quality of life features that are not there. Like scrubbing in the animation, where you can actually hear the sounds and then pinpoint when a mouth is opening or closing, or like there's an impact to some sort of object hitting another. You can't figure that out. And in fact, again, another complicated workaround, they've offered you a free program that lets you, in like the old school way of, you use a timing chart and you work it out on the timing chart first, and then apply that to the timeline, which is fine, which is great. I think you should probably, if you're going to do it, be an animator, you should probably know how to do something like that. On the other hand, we have sort of technology now. We can do digital painting. We can move a drawing a little bit. Animation paper is just very like you can use the lasso select, and then you have several options what to do with that. You can either stamp, you can move the picture, or you can create a whole nother frame with what you have selected. So it just gives you a bunch of different options. They're still working on it, and I believe the final price is going to be $86 for a permanent license, which is not bad compared to the, I believe, $260 if you were starting fresh on Clip Studio. I have Clip Studio Pro, which means I can bump it up to Clip Studio EX, and then get sort of the full privileges for unlimited frames, because when you just have Pro, which is not professional at all, you only have 24 frames to work with, and then you have to you can get around that by making a new timeline, but you kind of don't want to do that if you want to have like a long animation to work with. And of course, it's hard to export into different programs. I believe Animation Paper has all these different formats that it can export to, and then you can work with it in Photoshop, Clip Studio, even if you wanted to clean up. So yeah, the only problem is now it's that it's still in the beta phase, and you can't work with audio. if I could get audio in that program, that would just be I would be storyboarding or animatics, different things right now, if I could do that. But as of yet, did the thing freeze? Did it freeze? Did the hey everybody, we just did a little bit of sort of edit work. The video stopped, and up to this point you've been observing the wizardry of editing. I put the raw video file and then cut out my my webcam, and I've pasted it over the raw footage. In fact, why don't I just do that always? Huh. Anyway, yeah. So let's see. What was I going to say? Someone said B-Stars. Okay. Someone mentioned open short shot studio. I'm going to also write that down because I want to take a look at that. So anyway, I kind of wasted a day trying to animate, and I wasn't happy with the results. And I think I need to slow down a bit and maybe just... It was fun, and it was sort of an experiment, sort of shaking the rust off of what I can do. I need to work on my timing, and I'm going to do that, but I'm going to work on a little bit less ambitious project than creating an animated opening for a video series that, let's be perfectly frank, my track record with Let's Plays is abysmal. But I think it's going to work out if I do one of these Artcasts and then I do a sort of a Let's Play afterwards. And I have been just either a little bit distracted or I have been experiencing some disappointments. Distractions. What's one of the big distractions? Oh, I cleaned up... Well, actually, let's roll this back. On yesterday, I got a phone cord that I was very excited about because I thought it was going to have the ability... I'm going to shut that door for a second. Hold on a second. My deaf family members are yelling at each other over the phone. I thought there was going to be a phone cord that I thought was an Android to HDMI, and I was really excited about that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be able to just record my phone footage, and this will be fantastic because I can use it also as a webcam and do Android games. And I was like, oh, this is great. I've told the tale of the shitty Fry's Electronics that's going downhill, and it's now it's hawking a bunch of crappy used items and returns because they can't get anything. I guess before even all this started, the tariffs were killing them, and now that there's not even people going in the store, I think that's doing even worse. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I went in there, I picked up what was going to be an adapter that I thought was going to be great. I could use it to attach the phone to the computer, and we could do that. It was a piece of garbage. It was a return, obviously, because the power adapter, basically a little set-in. It's almost like, oh, yeah, you see this? Like this is a USB extender. It makes 4 other USB ports. But imagine if one of those ports were like shoved into the plastic and then bent at an angle. That's where this power cord was all dented up. And I was pissed, and I returned it, and I dropped it. And then I look online, I'm like, oh, I can get a HDMI to Android cable for $5. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. I'll ping purchase. And I should have known that it wouldn't be. It's when I get it. First of all, I wait an extra long time, because of everything that's happening. Again, that sounds so shitty. That sounds unbelievably shitty. I mean, like, oh man, I had to wait a little bit extra for my mail when people are really struggling. I'd call me Karen. But anyway, I get it, and it doesn't work. It's basically a power cord that works with your HDMI port. It charges the phone, and that's about all it does. But don't worry, I found a program called Vysor, Vysor, and I was then able to, let's see, I've got a perfect workaround. I can do gameplay of mobile games on the computer. I can even use it as a third camera, which I plan to do. I've got this one, I've got my main camera, and then I can use my phone now for like longer detailed shots, because it's actually got one of the best cameras I have. But anyway, I wanted to figure out what good mobile games, and that's how the distraction comes in, because I got it all set up. I also had to figure out a workaround in order to get audio to the computer. I bought this program, and they said, yeah, just hook it up and it's fine. And then it turns out, no, you've got to use Google Home in order to get the audio from your phone to the computer. And I was like, screw that. I'll just use my workaround to, and again, this was another earlier thing where I was trying to figure out how to hook up microphone up to my phone. And you've got to buy this splitter. Wait, is this it? No. God, I got so much shit here. Where is it? Nope. Hold on. Oop. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is just it's just an old school audio cable. And this is your splitter here. It splits the phone. It splits the phone signal into microphone and headphone. And so I can plug this in, then plug this into the phone. It gets a little staticky, but as long as music is playing or some sort of audio, then it's fine. So I'm thinking of like weird games to download, and I settle on Animation Domination, because that's got a lot of old shows, and it's old shows that I don't watch anymore because I've lost interest, and Bob's Burgers, which I think if I have a playthrough of that, I'm gonna try and make a Bob's Burger deck. But anyway, I look on my phone. I said, "Oh, well, my phone is like I can't download a simple app, I guess you call it. And I forget the exact size, but I'm looking. It's like, well, why can't I download this program?" I'm like, "Oh God, my phone is like it's ready to burst." On a positive note, I figured out how to move apps to the SD card, which I have a huge one, and so now I can do that. But I had 3,000 images saved over maybe I bought that phone 2 years ago, and I've already got, I already have 3,000 images from Twitter, from I think Tumblr, back when I was using that, and just downloaded, just images I've downloaded. And so I'm like, oh God, I got to get these off here. So I put them all on a USB drive, and I put it on the computer. I'm like, how long could it take me to sort this out? I maybe sorted through 500 images, sorted out the ones I wanted, because some I did want. Tutorials, just artwork from people that I like and admire and want to learn from. And then just other stuff I want to get rid of. And so I spent like maybe, a couple hours yesterday just kind of chilling and going through all those images and organizing them. Actually, not all those images. I still have 2,300 images to go through. But that's okay, because one of these... Hey, Matt, how's it going? Cool, yeah, long time no see for you. I was, like I said... I said what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's okay, because I've been researching, and one of these I saw this YouTube video, and it was effective art, tactics, or like ways to get motivated. And it was basically this guy, and he was doing this Blender seminar, and he was like, oh, well, this is how I was able, he usually does 3D artwork, but he wanted to become a good illustrationist. And he was like, okay, well, this is what I did over the couple years. And what he said was, one thing he'd like to do is every morning he'd just pop open a folder or an image file where he would just look through the different artwork of artists that he enjoyed and wanted to wanted to make similar artwork to. And he was like, oh, okay, well, I just open it up and I go through it and I look and I get inspired, or I get motivated to do what I want to do with this stuff. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. This is basically the same process. I'm opening up a folder full of images, and then I'm organizing them, between, okay, this is a tutorial, this is hands, because I have my, there's tutorials, and then there's hand tutorials, or just pictures of hands. A JoJo reference here. So I'm just organizing these different images in their different categories, and yes, it does actually work, because you look at it and you just like, oh, okay, I want to do something similar to that, or hey, I want to draw this character. I did that today with Daisy Duck. I saw like a really good illustration, almost like watercolor, and I was like, I'll just draw. I'll just do it. I'll just do it, and that was great, because it was just like, I turned a switch on in my head to just kind of sit down for a couple hours and then make a drawing. Again, yes, very much like Pinterest. I have a Pinterest. I think it's long abandoned. And I do have tutorials on there. Good old iced tea. But yeah, that's again, that ate up a lot of time. And it's always a disappointment when you're like, I should be doing something else. But on the other hand, this is kind of bugging me, and I'll just get it out of the way. Another thing I did, I've sort of streamlined the way I'm going to do things now. I have all these different USB ports, or not ports, USB drives. I have them. Oh, thanks, Hernie. You know what? I'm gonna go over that tomorrow when we do another Artcast. I was not happy with that. I mean, I'm sort of happy now after that I've looked at it. I just don't know what it was. I think it was because I was disappointed with the perspective, and just there's a few things about it I'm not happy with. But I looked at it later, and I was like, wow, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. Although, to change the subject real quick, actually no, let me just finish my idea. I got these USB ports. I'm gonna save gameplay and Artcast to one drive, and then move that to another computer, and then have that processed through a different computers. My issue right now is bottlenecking, because I use this one desktop computer for a lot of things, because it's got the graphics card, and it's got the most space, and I just have everything here attached to it. But if I can start figuring out how to move files, or at least like working files, around to like the 2 spare laptops that I have, then I can totally free up this computer to do way more stuff. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. There was an issue with my old laptop, which is actually like $1,000 laptop at the time that I bought it back in college, and it still kicks ass. I'm surprised how fast it is. But there was an issue with Lightworks where it just wouldn't recognize certain files after I closed the thing and reopened it. But I think if I just use the same drive, which is going to be just the Artcast and gameplay drive, and then process footage that way, I think it'll work out fine. Can you show your DVD collection? Let me put that down, and I will try to abide. Actually, I have my DVD collection in a storage unit somewhere right now. Some of it, and I do have a few spare DVDs that I've gotten while living here. But I don't have much. I've pretty much converted completely over to digital or streaming, or just YouTube, basically. Can't go wrong there. What was I going to say? Oh, hold on. Matt Lipton says, "Oh, I'm going to meeting one of 16 voice actors through a Zoom chat tomorrow night. My prof knows him since he used to write for a lot of animated shows. Cool. Which voice actor? Is it the guy? Is it that guy? Is it the one that sounds like the surfer dude who also does the same voice for Sidekicks? And let's see. He did that voice for 16. He did that voice for Sidekicks. And there's one other one. Or was he on... He was on Total Drama Island as like the big shot, the guy who was the MC, right? Only he didn't put on the surfer dude voice, right? Okay, we'll just wait for Matt to reply. What was I going to say? DVDs. Oh, getting back to this. I was actually really, really happy with the way Geodudette turned out. As you can see, she's kind of... and you'll see a little bit later. She's wrapped around in caution tape. I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. Ah, yeah, I got it right. Greg Sipes. Cool. Because that's the one guy everyone remembers from those shows. Basically, Geodudette is wrapped around in caution tape. Because I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. Because if you've ever been around mountain construction sites, or even just places that are like dangerous, caution, falling rocks ahead. I just got the idea of like, oh, she's got caution tape wrapped around her and like a bow. Pardon me. Oh, that's the stew. Grandma made stew for some reason. Ugh. Oh, the voice of Jonesy. Okay. Cool. Okay, so it's my mistake. It is the voice of Terry McGruin? Gruen? Gurrin. The voice of Jonesy. The actor. You're thinking of Kristen Potazine. Wait, Greg Sipes is Beast Boy, right? Okay, that's right. But anyway, I was kind of going for like a Japanese schoolgirl delinquent. There's an actual name for it, and I put it in the description of when I posted it online. but you don't really see that. There's no like actual school iconography here. It's just mainly she's got caution tape as a bow and also as kind of an eye patch, and those around her fists. And I gave her like I guess it made it look like she's got like a damaged eye or something. I don't know. I like the idea of like a Geodude being wrapped around in that stuff. Like they got it off a mountain or something, or like someone, like accidentally wrapped it around them and didn't know that they were, a Geodude. They thought they were just a rocks. Sukiban, thank you, Zero. Sukiban to the rescue. I mean, Zero to the rescue. She's a rock tumbler. Yep, very good. Yeah, I was so happy with. I am still happy with the way this turned. I look at this and I get hyped. I get excited about like Pokemon in a way I haven't really been excited since. I think the last time I actually got like super hyped was when they were releasing those shorts. They like Pokemon Adventures or whatever. I think there was one where the police try to arrest Giovanni, and they're using like Magnemites to get through electronic doors and Growlithes to like melt down barricades in the Team Rocket building. But then there's one where all these gym leaders fight this cult, and I don't know what it is. Team whatever, one of those new ones. I don't know. But I was so I got hyped when all these gym members, hey Worms, how's it going? Started to like fight back against all these like cult member Pokemon. I was like, Pokemon, a Pokemon cult, and all these cool gym leaders, and I'm like, this is awesome. And there's this guy with this impossible facial hair. I don't know what you'd call it. So I was like, yeah, that would be cool. But then I was like, I love this. This is like my idea of like a great Geodude to have. I'm trying to think of other things to do with Pokemon. I have a Totodile name, or I have a. It used to be a Totodile, and now it's evolved. I don't know what the middle one is called, but I think the big one's called Croconaw. Again, the name of the playthrough is called A Gen 1er Plays Pokemon Crystal. Because I beat the first game, but never got past I forget where I stopped in Crystal. Or actually, it wasn't Crystal, it was Gold, I believe I had. And I don't know when I stopped. But I was like, I got to figure out what to do. I have a Croconaw or a Totodile or whatever it's going to be, named Toto. I was like, maybe I could do something with the band Toto. And I looked up their songs. And is it just me, or does Toto kind of suck? I mean, they've got that one song, Africa. And nothing really else like hits me the same way that Africa does. I'm waiting for it to catch up with the. Okay, so it's Totodile, Croconaw, and then like Feraligatr. Okay, Feraligatr. But no, I mean, I looked and I was like, okay, I'll listen to their best of. And I was like, no, there's nothing really like, Hold the Line. Okay, Hold the Line. I forgot. I'm sorry. Hold the Line's good. No. Hernie's apologizing for all his caps, but it's perfect. No. Okay, Hernie's upset. Oh man, I love Toto. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I just one of those bands that I was just like, oh man, what other songs do they have? Oh, eh, Hold the Line's pretty okay. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll concede. Toto is a good band there. Um, I just okay. Now other people are saying, did they do anything other than Africa? Again, so yeah. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of Toto fans, and there's going to be people who was like, eh. But anyway, I was trying to think about, and then on the playthrough, I was singing a song by Dio and not Toto. I was singing "Holy Diver." I was like, oh wait, no, that's not Toto, that's Dio. So I got to do something with that. I was thinking maybe like a Captain Hook or Peter Pan kind of theme, where he has like a clock. I remember that being like some sort of idea I had during the beginning of the playthrough. But I'm probably going to work on Togepi. Something about Togepi and Portobello, who's my Bellsprout. I got to start focusing on an actual core team. Oh, and Miss Nasty and Undyne, which is my Magikarp, I guess. I don't know. I didn't have a game plan. I just kind of started playing it. I have a Slowpoke, too. Pardon me. I guess that's my Psychic type. I don't have an Electric type yet. I think I will actually run into a Magnemite first. During the whole... oh, God. She put a ton of garlic in that stew. Ugh. Okay. You know what's a good 80s band, though? Midnight Oil. That slaps. Okay, cool. I'll look up Midnight Oil as well. No, I wasn't thinking of a pirate suit. Ooh. No, I wasn't. Wow, my audio just jumped up real loud. No, I wasn't thinking of a. I wasn't thinking of a pirate suit with a clock in his mouth. I was thinking of maybe like a clock hanging down, almost like a Flavor Flav kind of thing. Like he found it in the dumpster and just likes having it around. I don't know. This is just reminding me that I've got to go back to Pokemon Zeta at some point. What's Pokemon Zeta? I haven't played well, actually, I guess I have played a Pokemon game, but I haven't played like a new Pokemon game in a while. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, these are some of the color references I have, and there we go. I've got a picture of a Sukaban right there. And then also different kinds of caution tape that you'll find in Japan. Seeing the original 150 Pokemon makes me feel 12 again. Yeah. Make the Slowpoke with a Rasta beanie. I don't know if I'm actually going to use that as my Psychic type. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm kind of like, see, I definitely need an Electric type. Definitely. I don't know if I'm going to... I have Miss Nasty, the Ghastly, which will soon be a Hunter. I'm never going to evolve Geodude. I want her like this. And I never evolved my Geodude anyway. I always hated the other evolutions that Geodude turned into. Like Graveler looks dumb, and Golem is just like a dumb round ball with a lizard face. Although there's that interesting theory about trading Pokemon. What was it? What was it? Actually, no. I guess just trading a Pokemon will make them evolve. there was this thing about, let's see, if you trade a Graveler for a Machop, Machoke, pardon me. If you trade a Graveler for a Machoke, then the Machoke will get an extra pair of arms, which the Graveler has, and the Graveler will grow a more lizard-like face, which the Machoke has. But I don't think it counts because you can just trade that Pokemon with anything, and it will still evolve, right? You don't have to like specifically trade one Pokemon for another. I like Golem. He's just a lizard stuck in a rock. Wow, I am full of all sorts of controversial opinions tonight, aren't I? Yes, Clearwater is a great band. I love that one. There's bad moon rising. But no, I just like the idea of, I like a rock. I like a rock with big, beefy Popeye arms. I always love that. Okay, here I go, and speaking of Clip Studio, I did need it to do this, where to take the text that I've created. And by the way, I had to import an image and trace over it. This will take a while because again, it's fine, but it's not intuitive. What I'm trying to do here. Basically, take the text, move it down, and then warp it into the proper position. Which is one thing that Paint Tool Seiya can't do. Clip Studio is constantly getting updates, and Paint Tool Seiya barely gets any. But when it does, it's like such a welcomed. It's absolutely so welcomed that they do it. I wish they'd have. I wish they do warping like this. Hold on a second. A Farfetch as a chef. That would be cool. So yeah, this is just, and it's a kind of a slow and tedious process. Because again, I don't use Clip Studio that much, and so it was kind of hard to like try and remember how to do it. I feel that I've been using Paint Tool Seiya since the 1.0 build, and have never updated. I'm sorry, but are you saying that you've never used Paint Tool Seiya 2? The 2.0 update is amazing, and the license is only $50, so I'd go for that. When I first started using it, and I got it on, what did I find it on? I found it on 4chan because of course I did, and I found 4chan because people were posting my art. And then I looked, and they looked in their art thread, and they said, "Oh, well, you can use Paint Tool Seiya." And they said it's free, and they gave me a link, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, this is great." Later found out it's not free. They ask for money for their license, and when Point 2 came around, and I saw they had all these amazing different features like rulers and vector tools and stuff like that. But again. Again, Reinhold, you do not have the money to get the new license. Well, that's okay. I understand. But if you wanted to, it's like paint. You thought it was pronounced Psy. Well, I don't know. Yeah, everything is free on 4chan. But anyway, I bought a license. because it was the proper thing to do to support them. If they had any sort of, I don't know what their business model is. They just, I guess, sell the program sometimes. I don't know. They don't seem to be like a corporation. For all I know, it's like a bunch of kids in their college dorms that made this program. But I love it. It's got the best stabilizer in any program I've ever experienced, including Paint Tool Saya. I mean, Clip Studio. Yeah, I create art. I create art with outdated equipment too. I've got. Oh god, this computer is like maybe about 6 years old, or at least the model is. I bought it maybe like 3 years ago when the old computer went kaput, and but this is an older HP model. I bought another one exactly like it for $20 at a Goodwill. It's got everything except a hard drive, and I took the memory out of that one and I put it in here. So now I've got like 12 gigs of memory in this. Because the first thing I did when I bought this was put in my new graphics card and then buy like really stronger memory for this one. And then when I bought that, I was like, okay, well, I should get off my ass and get on the internet, take some memory sticks out of this and figure out what I'm looking for, and just buy new memory for that computer too, so I can download Lightworks and then have another desktop running. I think I've got an old graphics card that I can even use in that one. But at that point, I'd have like, let's see, how many computers do I have? I have this one. I have my old laptop. I have Grandma's new laptop, which is it's okay. It was like $100. I got it at Walmart. They were practically giving them away, and it's pretty good. It's just, I guess they needed to move the product off the floor. In fact, I went there one day, just regular shopping. I was like, oh wow, are they really giving away computers for like $100? I picked it up and I bought it. Went back the next day because my mom asked, oh wow, computers for that much? And I said, yeah, sure. I go back the next morning, they're all gone, and they must have had like a stack of 20. So anyway, I've got like this one. I got my old laptop, the new laptop. I've got this weird tablet thing that was advertised as both a Android tablet and a computer in one, but really it's only a computer. It's a computer tablet, which is great because I use it as a teleprompter. You can detach the keyboard off of it, and then I can put on a mouse and a keyboard, and I can use it as a teleprompter. In fact, I've used it a couple times for a couple videos that I need to edit. And of course, you type with it and stuff like that. It's got nothing in it, no graphics card or processor or anything, so it can only do so much. Mainly text and watch videos and stuff. Then I guess you'd count the tower that I have. See, yeah, that's 4. And then if I were to piece together the tower out there, then that would be 5 different computers. And again, like I said, I need to like maximize my workflow where I can take the jump drive, move it to another computer after I'm done here, and then just let it run through and just like publish all the videos. This is probably like the best gaming computer I have, and it's nothing. It's like literally, I think I have like an NVIDIA GT60 or 70, whatever. I think I probably have more RAM than it's worth. But yeah. In fact, that little stunt that I did now with the having to edit this video together. Let's see. I'll have to I usually when I get done with these, when I get done with the stream, where I get done with the Artcast and then I stop and then I record a gameplay. The Artcast I will piece together and have that run and process all night, which means by the time I wake up in the morning, there should be a video file waiting for me to upload onto YouTube. Which hopefully, if I'm smart enough, it'll be on a USB port, and then I'll go and take it and then put it on another computer, leaving this computer free for me to do my drawing. However, when I start uploading onto YouTube, I can't stream Picardo because even that is still, it slows down what I want to do, which is have Picardo and also like watch like whatever footage, movie or whatever I want to have. So again, it's all about sort of bottlenecking at this point, and then where to pick your moments to get things done. And the worst part is sometimes I have like a chore. Sometimes you'll just get asked to do, like you'll have to go somewhere or run an errand or you just need to do your frickin' laundry because that's the right thing to do. And then I feel bad because I don't have like any footage. I was like, oh, the computer's just sitting there and it's not doing anything. I could be like converting some footage or putting the final touches on something. So yeah, it's the internal struggle. They've got computers at Pixar that are just constantly running because it takes like a day to like create a single frame of one of their movies. What's going down? He's not dead, but his jaw was smashed, and now he's under the watch of a powerful Brazilian magic user? What the hell's going on? What are we talking? We have no got the British toilet. What are you doing? Are you defiling my chat? Oh well. One thing that this does remind me of is Ghostbusters. The caution stripe, or the different caution stripes. I was like, oh, that kind of reminds me of Ghostbusters. And I'm sort of mixing the different kind of patterns. There's one pattern where it says danger, and I guess that's the Japanese translation in danger. Actually, I've seen those specific kanjis on a bunch of different, next to a bunch of different words, like caution or danger or keep out. I don't know what they mean exactly, but they look cool, and I think it translates okay. But anyway, I'm mixing and matching the different types of caution tape, the different patterns. There's like 3 conversations going on. Okay, I see what's happening. Okay, so the Brits made a toilet that hurts you when you sit on it. Oh, you're talking about the slanting toilet that they made. Yeah, that you can only sit on it for about 5. They put it in offices, and it sits at a slant, and you can only sit on it for so long before your legs start to cramp up, because even that one little slant makes it so that you have to support your body on your legs. And yeah, it hurts, and you want to just finish as fast as possible and then get up and, I guess, get back to work. Great art in guidebooks, by the way. Very good. Oh, how do you pronounce that? Gurihiru. Gurihiru. Damn, I love that. I love that art style. I fell in love with that particular. Is it a studio you'd call it, or is it like actual like a couple people? What is this? Okay, masks. So this is the RPG, huh? Cool. I'll save this. Done, and then I'll get back into the chat. Let's see. How's your pin collection coming? It's going good. I haven't really added anything to it. I haven't actually had the opportunity to. If I'm thinking of what you're thinking of, it's a Okay, I fell in love with their art style when they started doing the Power Pack. Back in college, I would go to comic book stores and just kind of look around and think like, oh, okay, so you've got. I was really starting to get into a lot of like Hellboy, a lot of indie stuff, but then some of the mainstream was starting to catch on too, especially the smaller properties, like Power Pack, which was, I guess, a revival of a comic in the 80s, and I have a few issues of those. But I saw that and I was like, oh god, this artwork is great. It'd be great in animation. Okay. And then you had that, and you had the New Warriors. There was they tried to relaunch the New Warriors with Night Thrasher and Nora, the like basically some sort of fish girl, or underwater girl, I should say. And then you've got you had Night Thrasher, Speedball was another one, Nova, and introducing Microbe, which I really liked Microbe. He was such an interesting character. He was a mutant, and he could talk to microscopic organisms, like germs and stuff like that. And he's one of those mutants that would have been like Omega level if he had the sort of... he had the knowledge. He was just sort of really green behind the ears. And then, of course, they killed him off for their shitty little Civil War. Yeah, I don't. Soon after Civil War, I stopped actually collecting those comics. In fact, I think I stopped going to comic book stores completely because I got busy and needed to do other things with the money. But that was definitely something that was definitely a nail in the coffin in my interest. And then of course the internet popped up, and then people. I remember collecting a bunch of like independent comics. Like Cannon Busters was a comic, and then they turned that into an anime on Netflix, which is actually I actually like the original style of the comic, but they only got like one issue in before it never got picked up at all. It was just that one little issue, and then you got something called Urban Myths, which was another like really good like a little indie comic, and then you got like Henchmen and Sidekicks, and just like a bunch of like really interesting stuff that I would look through and pick up and was like, oh, this is great, and I would mainly just generally ignore like all the mainstream stuff. I think I used to like really like Batman and Superman comics. There was one run where they went to an alternate universe where they basically met the DC universe version of the Avengers, where they have like a Soldier, who was like a Captain America stand-in, and Hornet, which is like the Wasp, and just like it was fun. It was neat. Oh, like Thor was actually a frost giant. He had like an axe that acted just like Mjolnir, but it was just like a Viking axe. I got like really into that, and then also some anime. Pardon me, manga. But yeah, I kind of drifted off of that for a while. Not a while. I'm still not quite into it. Like I said, the internet has risen, not risen. You have a rise on creators who can just publish their work online, and then later on, like publish a book. But they can then have Patreons or coffees, and then you can support them that way. You don't need to put your name down on a contract with Marvel or DC in order to give them your property, and then you don't if it only lasts like 6 issues, and then you can never get it back. I drew a Plague Doctor Squirrel Girl for Dr. Plague. Cool. God, I really love this drawing. It just exudes that kind of energy that I love from Pokemon. I kind of no. I'm glad I didn't make her pale. I'm glad I didn't make her eyes super pale. And then I just kept on adding detail as I went along. Like I added a little bit of shading, and then I added highlights, and then highlights on the body, and then highlights on the tape. I'm just really happy with the way this one turned out, which is sort of inverse to the Daisy drawing I did this morning. Especially since that drawing got a lot more attention than this drawing, which is always the way it goes. I believe Rebel Taxi was like he posted a video that he spent like months on, and it wasn't as popular as this like little I think he did something on Star Trek. But it was a quick video, and he got like a huge surge of interest in his videos. Let's see. CR, what cartoon do you think is overrated? Overrated. Well, I would say The Simpsons. Like the last, maybe 20 years of The Simpsons, but I think that's pretty much like considered fact. Not fact, but I think that's popular opinion at this point. Overrated. South Park, definitely. I look back at some of the older episodes of South Park, and I think, this is still funny to me in sort of like a grade school, like I was getting out of that even in college, and I can sort of. I remember I had my own money at some point, and I was going to a lot of comic book stores and used DVD stores, and I could afford to buy the entire set of seasons of South Park, and I was like, I bought it, and I watched them back to back, and they all sort of started losing their luster. When you watch it when you digest it all at once. And I was like, I don't know. So I would have to say South Park is one of those, just because I don't think it works in the moment. It's very predicated, and I think that's why it rose to fame, because it is predicated on its quick turnaround, and you can throw in a joke at the very last second, and then it would go up in a week. In fact, that's what they modeled their success after. 6 days till air or something. It was a special. And I was like, okay. So, and then you forget the references, or you kind of vaguely remember the references, and they're only funny because they're a reference. I think Family Guy doesn't fall. For some reason, people still like South Park. Um, and then Family Guy, I think, has sort of gotten the reputation. Although, for some reason, it's the same formula. But I think the fact that Family Guy needs to be made, there's like months in between, if not a year, between them writing a joke that's a reference and it showing up, versus the shelf life of it being like fresh and oh, okay, well, South Park made a joke about something that happened last week. Oh, that's so funny. And then, but a year later, it's like, okay. It goes bad. It just stays fresher than a Family Guy joke. So that's what I think. Yeah, final answer: South Park. Um, I actually had a big thread about Master Shake being a much better version of Cartman, since the world never justifies him. Yeah, I really dig. I pretty much dig Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I sort of always have. I like the fact that those late night shows, they just play with narrative. In a way that, like, okay, well, you know what a movie is, you know where this is coming from. We're not going to hold your hands. We're just going to make jokes, and then it's going to be a total stream of consciousness. Whatever, not Frylock, Master Shake just says, and then we'll have Frylock sitting there, and he'll be the voice of the audience, and ask the leading questions, or ask like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He'll just go like on a huge rant, like, I don't know, I can't think of anything right now. Although I will say I do like Hillbillies better. And I think that just comes from the voice actors. They will deliver the most asinine lines in, like, with these beautiful inflections, especially the unknown Hudson, who is the voice of Early Kyler. Yeah, I think I like, and then you got Dan Halen, which of course I think is a play on Van Halen. Um, I think Squidbillies is probably the best out of all the Adult Swim. Um, let's see, Rick and Morty. I haven't seen Solar Opposites, and I don't. It's on Hulu. I don't know. Maybe I'll waste my annual free subscription or free month on that. I don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't. I just. I haven't seen. I've seen the clips of it. It seems fine. It seems like another sort of Rick and Morty side show. Uh, what was that one cart? What was? No, it was a video game. Grover saves the universe or something. I don't know. It was predicated on, like, I guess VR. I don't know. C Lab 2020. Okay, here's an interesting story. Do I have enough time? I have 32 seconds before okay, well, we'll save that for later. There's an interesting story about C Lab 2020. I'll just say it. The showrunner of C Lab ran over a executive at Cartoon Network, and actually, you know what? I don't think I have a picture at the end of this, so we're going to stop it there. And this is the final picture of Geodudette. pretty good. I'm extremely happy with the way this came out. But anyway, an executive who was they ran over an executive with a snowmobile, broke their legs, and they never made another show for Cartoon Network. They did, however, move over to FX and create Archer, which is, I think, a far more superior show than C-Lab, and I think they had another show that they worked on. I don't know. But yeah, funny story. Anyway, I love this drawing, and I think that's about it for